الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على خير المرسلين اللهم علمنا ما ينفعنا وانفعنا بما علمتنا وزدنا علما. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said in the Quran, فَذَكَّرْ فَإِنَّ الذِّكْرَ تَنْفَعُ الْمُؤْمِنِينَ. Give reminders because reminders benefit the believers. And usually people in their response to reminders, they fall into one of four categories. The first category is people who don't want to listen to reminders. They don't even listen to it. And the example of that are the arrogance and the kuffar. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said in the Quran, فَمَا لَهُمْ عَنِ التَّذْكِرَةِ مُعْرِضِينَ كَأَنَّهُمْ حُمْرٌ مُسْتَنْفِرَةٌ فَرَّتْ مِنْ قَسْوَرَةٍ. So why are they turning away from reminders as if they were like wild donkeys running from a lion? So they don't want to even hear. The second category is people who hear, but it does not fall into their heart. And the example of that are the hypocrites. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said in the Quran, وَمِنْهُمْ مَنْ يَسْتَمِعُ إِلَيْكَ حَتَّى إِذَا خَرَجُوا مِنْ عِنْدِكَ قَالُوا لِلَّذِينَ أُوتُوا الْعِلْمَ مَاذَا قَالَ آنِفًا أُولَٰئِكَ الَّذِينَ طَبَعَ اللَّهُ عَلَىٰ قُلُوبِهِمْ وَاتَّبَعُوا أَهْوَاءَهُمْ. He says, some of them, they will listen to you, directing the speech to Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And then when they leave, they ask others who got the knowledge, he say, what did he just say? Allah said, أُولَٰئِكَ الَّذِينَ طَبَعَ اللَّهُ عَلَىٰ قُلُوبِهِمْ. Allah has sealed their heart. وَاتَّبَعُوا أَهْوَاءَهُمْ. And they follow their own desires. The third category, they listen, it drops into their heart, but they don't want to follow because they don't like who is saying it. This person does not belong to their group or their country or whatever. The example of that are the kuffar in Mecca and At-Taif. When they said, Allah said, وَقَالُوا لَوْلَا نُزِّلَ هَذَا الْقُرْآنُ عَلَى رَجُلٍ مِّنَ الْقَرْيَتَيْنِ عَظِيمٍ. They say, why this Quran was not revealed to another person? So they had no problem with the Quran, but they had problem with the Prophet ﷺ. The fourth category are people who listen, it drops in their heart, and they follow it. As an example of that are the believers. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said in the Quran, وَالَّذِينَ اجْتَنَبُوا الطَّاغُوتَ أَن يَعْبُدُوهَا وَأَنَابُوا إِلَى اللَّهِ لَهُمُ الْبُشْرَ فَبَشِّرْ عِبَادٍ. And those who avoid the taghut, taghut is any unjust authority. وَأَنَابُوا إِلَى اللَّهِ, and turn back to Allah. لَهُمُ الْبُشْرَ, give good tidings to them. فَبَشِّرْ عِبَادٍ. Who are العباد? الَّذِينَ يَسْتَمِعُونَ الْقَوْلَ فَيَتَّبِعُونَ أَحْسَنَهُ. Those who listen to the speech and they follow the best of it. أُولَٰئِكَ الَّذِينَ هَدَاهُمُ اللَّهُ وَأُولَٰئِكَ هُمْ أُولُو الْأَلْبَابِ. Those are guided by Allah and they are the people of understanding. And the interesting in this verse, Allah said, الَّذِينَ يَسْتَمِعُونَ الْقَوْلَ فَيَتَّبِعُونَ أَحْسَنَهُ. They listen to the speech and they follow the best of it. He didn't say who is saying it. Because as a believer, you follow the truth, regardless of who is saying it. Whether you agree with that person or not, whether he belongs to your country or a group of people, doesn't matter, because you follow the truth. And the qawl could be Al-Quran too, because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, إِنَّا سَنُلْقِي عَلَيْكَ قَوْلًا ثَقِيلًا. So we listen to the truth, whoever's saying it, and we follow it because we follow the truth as believers. And so reminders is give you support, give you help in your life, because each one of us is fighting on five fronts in this life. We're fighting shaitan, we're fighting nafs, we're fighting the dunya and its temptation, we're fighting blessing and na'am and the distraction come with it, and we're fighting a society that's not catered for Muslim. Bad companies, bad friends who try to distract you. So you're fighting on five fronts. So you need all the help you need. And especially shaitan. Shaitan is your eternal enemy. And usually shaitan, when he attacks a human, he uses two strategies. One of two strategies. Shahawat or shubuhat. Desires or doubts. Desires, not necessarily a bad thing. is because there is a halal outlet for any desires that Allah created in us. So it's not an excuse to follow your desires because there is a halal way to fulfill them. So you can take the example of a desire is like the fuel of the car. You put the fuel in the car, it gets burned, and it causes the car to move. So that's a positive effect of the fuel. But the same fuel, if you dump it over a car and you light, it could burn the car. So it depends how you use your desire. So shaitan target us in one of two, desires or doubts. The desires, two kinds. They're materialistic desires, or like the desire of al-batn wal-farj is eating or sex, etc. Or there are non-materialistic desires, such as seeking leadership role if someone is not qualified, or liking to be famous, etc. There's two types of desires. Now, how do you fight back? You fight desires by patience. You be patient. If somebody is telling you, let's invest in this business that is shady or whatever, and you can make a lot of money, no. You fight the desire by being patient. You say, no, I'm going to accept what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala giving me as rizq. I'm not going to go there. So fighting desires will be with patience. As far as doubts or shubuhat is another strategy for shaitan. And shubuhat fall into one of two categories. There's shubuhat or doubts related to al-Khaliq, to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and shubuhat related to to humans. The shubuhat was Allah fall into two. Shubuhat related to ibadat or shubuhat related to aqeedah. Shubuhat related to aqeedah or doubts and aqeedah, shaitan will come and tell you, do you really believe there is a day of judgment? Do you really believe there is a creator for all of this? It's shubuhat. Or related to the act of worship. What is the point of prayer? Why do we have to pay zakah? Why do you have to pay 2.5%? So all these doubts is related to your relationship with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The other type of doubts related to your relationship with human. And those can be either ifrat or tafrit. Ifrat means you overestimate certain type of people. You give them more than their rights. Or like especially among the youth, when they look at a rapper or at a sportsman or whatever, and they think that they are wonderful or they are role models, whatever. So they give them way more than they desire or they deserve. Or tafrit, which is underestimating, disrespecting others. Don't give them their full rights. So those are doubts. So how do you fight doubts? You fight doubts with yaqeen, by having certainty. So you fight desires with patience, and you fight doubts with yaqeen. Of course, to get yaqeen, you have to get knowledge, and you have to seek knowledge and get to know your religion, because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala yuhibbu an yu'bada ala ilm. Allah likes to be worshipped with knowledge. So you get yaqeen. So now if you have patience and you have yaqeen, and you combine the both, what do you become? You become an imam. Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said in the Quran, وَجَعَلْنَا مِنْهُمْ أَئِمَّةً يَهْدُونَ بِأَمْرِنَا لَمَّا صَبَرُوا وَكَانُوا بِآيَاتِنَا يُوقِنُونَ. We have made among them imams, leaders, يَهْدُونَ بِأَمْرِنَا لَمَّا صَبَرُوا, when they had patience, وَكَانُوا بِآيَاتِنَا يُوقِنُونَ, and they were certain of our signs. اللهم أرنا الحق حقا وارزقنا اتباعه وأرنا الباطل باطلا وارزقنا اجتنابه وصلى الله وسلم على سيدنا محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم.